Okay, well, welcome. Happy Valentine's Day first. That's the first order of business. I'm not wearing any pink or red today, and I should be, but I have lots of pink and red things around me. Uh, there's more, but so yeah, no, there's more. Oh, I do I do have this. It's my name, Becky, with a heart. So that's pink and got a heart. So we have that. So Valentine's Day. So first I want to ask, what are some traditions in your countries, as we're all from different countries here today? And then I'd like to do a little reading, which I wrote. So if you find any errors, sorry. But it's about the history of Valentine's Day and kind of maybe why we celebrate it. So Chin, you also said it was Valentine's Day. Are you celebrating Valentine's Day today?
A lot of young people are celebrating Valentine's Day.
So
They
are
like
you
to buy some gifts for their girlfriends, but I am very boring. I am I am not romantic. My wife wants me to buy something for her, but I don't wanna buy something for her.
Oh.
I only stay at home and I want to improve my speaking English. Uh,
Well, maybe you can
I
write her a poem in English and then translate it for her.
I
Sometimes the best
am
gifts we say are from the heart. So something that is just nice,
mm,
if you clean, for example, or make some dinner tonight, or, something very simple could mean a lot to someone. So you,
I am not younger. I
that
have
doesn't
passed
matter.
the romantic age.
Everyone can celebrate this day. There's no rule on age or anything. So don't worry about that. But you better, well, it's a little late there, isn't it? So Valentine's Day is almost over.
I
Um
follow your advice. Maybe
Thanks.
after this I should do
Yeah.
something for my wife.
I have to admit, my husband and I are not exchanging gifts this year because we're going on holiday tomorrow. I said, I don't think we really need gifts. But I said, let's get some nice, meat. We'll get some steaks, some red wine for tonight, and we'll celebrate that way. And to me, that's the most special thing is just eating well, having a little wine is always nice, and just enjoying his company. And so to me, that's enough. Um, but honestly, I'm hoping he surprises me with something. I mean, maybe flowers or, but he doesn't have to. Every girl, I shouldn't say every girl, most women or even men, who knows, would like a little surprise. And so I kept saying, are you sure we're not going to exchange gifts? Because I don't want him to all of a sudden say, oh, happy Valentine's Day. Here's lots of different things. So Ken, I'll have to take a look to see what you have there. Um, so yeah, so that's kind of my experience today too. Nothing, relaxed, just eat good and go on vacation. So Rafael, it's your turn. In Brazil, is there something you do today? I know you're also celebrating Carnival. So that's it's overlapping. We're doing both at the same time this year. So do you have any plans for today or things in general?
No, actually, do not celebrate Valentine's Day here. I believe that the closer we can get from Valentine's Day is the 12th of June. We normally celebrate the Boyfriends and Girlfriends Day, but it's not specifically. I don't know exactly. It has so much resemblance with Valentine's Day, but I believe the purpose is the same. It's just when boyfriends and girlfriends get together to celebrate their relationship.
Hmm. I've never heard of that. I'm just thinking on October 19th, it's called Sweethearts. No, Sweetest Day. Hold on. Sweetest day? I think that's what it is. It's kind of like, I mean, if you think about it, February to October, there's a couple months in between. And so 8 months. And so probably what they're doing is, to celebrate 2 different days with love or something like that. But Sweetest Day is kind of a new invention. I think it started becoming popular when I mean, maybe about 15 years ago, or something like that, more or less when I was in high school. I know I had heard about it then, and my parents hadn't. So maybe it's something similar to that. Is there a specific reason it's on June 12th?
To be honest, I don't know. I don't know what's the reason of this. Say, probably just commercial purpose, as always.
Just like today, right? That's one thing people say is that today is a consumer holiday. It's to buy presents, to buy chocolates, gifts, balloons, flowers. So maybe. Okay, good. Well, thanks, Raphael. And Ken, so you sent us a link here. I haven't opened it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's about the Japan Times.
All right. It's a kind of
Today.
holiday that developed peculiarly in Japan, in Japanese society. Maybe at the beginning, maybe 1960s or something, or 50s, chocolate maker promote Valentine's Day to give chocolate to men. So only men, not for women. So just
Really?
very one-side way, actually, yes. Also, it expand to the boss or colleagues or friend, etc. It's called obligation chocolate.
Yeah, I see that. I'm not going to try and pronounce it,
So
but
yeah, many people, I guess, it's not so comfortable this time of the year because of that. Very commercialistic also. Kind of, that's the one problem in Japanese society. Peer pressure is very strong. Many women suffer from to buy or prepare the obligation chocolate to the company or something. So Godiva dare to post this ad on Japanese newspaper this year. Maybe you need to bring, you need to give the, your something person who are really important. Yeah, to give our company chocolate or something, probably. But I don't know why it's always chocolate, no, not flower or any other gifts actually. Sometimes, but for maybe really for a real boyfriend or in this case girlfriend, yeah, because I don't know, this case is boyfriend friend because only women have to do so. So it's not fun because if it is became an obligation, we cannot express our true feeling actually. But anyway, that's just Japanese situation. Yes, but sometimes some women or girl, give the handmade chocolate to their lovers. That's also common. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, well, fantastic. Another different tradition. I know in the United States, for example, it's very typical for a guy to give a girl flowers and chocolate. You're right. I don't know why flowers and chocolates. I mean, it's supposed to be a romantic day. I mean, flowers smell good, so they might put you in a good mood. And chocolate is good for to enhance your mood as well, to be happy. And so if you give a girl flowers and chocolate, maybe she'll just be really happy and, fall in love. So we have hopes for everybody. So, well, fantastic. And here in Spain, it's kind of catching on as a holiday. There's some people like, oh, no, I'm not even doing anything with that today. And I'm like, oh, so I'm not going to say Happy Valentine's Day. For me, it was always a day to celebrate love and, give cards and Valentines and candy. And I don't know, it's kind of like, the same kind of intensity of like Thanksgiving, for example, or Halloween. Those kinds of holidays where you just kind of have fun, have a good day. You watch movies, or at school as children, you take some time and you give everyone a Valentine that you prepared at home, and so it's just a special day for us. And of course, America, the consumerism capital of the world, probably. Sure, maybe it's that, but it's supposed to be
So
just a fun day.
one month later, not May, March 14th, it's called White Day. And the marshmallow industry connect to the day, men give marshmallow to women.
That's new.
Yeah, that's new.
Because for me, March 14th, and I have something special for that day too. March 14th is called Pi Day.
I see.
Because that number
Interesting.
is like 3.14, blah, 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 blah. Pi. Why don't we wait 1 month and a day and we'll talk about that. But Marshmallow Day, I'd like that day. Who doesn't like marshmallows? So, well, fantastic. So great, great start. Let me go ahead and show you. We're going to be reading. Okay, so just a second. Valentines. So again, I've written this. Okay, the sources are multiple sources that I've found. So it should be true. I don't know if I can actually cite the websites in here, but because it's inspired, I guess, or based off of different websites, it's not official, so it's okay. So this is it. I suppose I can make it a little bigger. That looks good. That looks good, I think. Okay. So what I'm going to have us do is just read a little bit. So Chin-Yu, why don't you start? Why don't you read this first little, well, there are 2 lines. You can read the title, okay?
Every
Chin-Yu,
year,
can you? Okay.
we think of love on the 14th of February or St. Valentine's Day. However, it didn't start as a day of love.
Okay. So basically, I shouldn't say every year because obviously not everyone thinks of this as today is, a very loving day. But from my perspective, from the United States, we do. And so when you think of Valentine's, you think of love, happiness. I mean, normally, like I said, from the point of view of an American from the United States, we think of happiness and love and romance and hearts and pink and red. But as Chin-Yu said, as he read, it didn't start as a day of love. So now, Raphael, I'm going to have you read. Where does it stop? Okay. All right. So a little bit longer, but all of this. Okay, Raphael?
Okay. There are many theories of how Valentine's Day began. It is also not clear on who the real Valentine or Valentinus was. There are at least 3 recorded in history, who were all Christian martyrs, so we may never really know the true story.
Okay, good. Good pronunciation here. I'm going to ask the question about what is a martyr? Where it says Christian martyrs? This one. Does anyone understand what that means? Does anyone know what that means? Because by the context, you kind of can't really guess even. So does anyone have any idea?
Maybe someone who was really respected in life, and perhaps by something that he or she has achieved in her life, and when they have already died, and people remember them for the years.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that's part of it. Not the exact answer, but it's definitely part of it. No other ideas? Okay. Well, a martyr is someone who sacrifices themselves. So they die for a specific reason. Now, being Christian martyrs, I'm sure that they died for their faith. And so, yes, now they are remembered. Okay. So there's some vocabulary here. Are there any other questions about the words that we've seen or grammar structures or something? No? Okay. Well, there's one thing I wanted to mention, and it's basically this number 3. Now, it's written as a number. When we get to the number 10, so if there were, let's say, 11 recorded in history, I would have to write the number out with words. So if it's 10 or more, it has to be written in words, okay? That's just a kind of a writing rule, I suppose you could say. So just so that everyone knows that little piece of information to make their day complete. All right. So Ken, it's going to be your turn here. And we're going to go on to, maybe we'll read just until this part because I can't really get more on the page. so Ken, you can read this little short part, okay?
Okay. One story talks about a bishop who married couples in secret. He did this because the ruler, Claudius II, said that soldiers who were in love were weak.
Mm-hmm. So good. And I'm just going to kind of pronounce this. This is Claudius the Second. Whenever we have kind of like the second, third, fourth, fifth, we always say the word the before. So very good. All right. So any questions about this part that Ken just read?
Did this because the ruler.
No questions?
The married couple in secret, what does this mean?
Well, first I was going to ask about the bishop. A bishop is someone who's in the church, okay?
Right.
That's basically that. So he decided to marry couples, people who are, boyfriends and girlfriends that wanted to get married. So he married them in secret. And that is because Claudius II, the emperor at the time, said that people, soldiers, men who were in love were very weak. And so in order to prevent his soldiers becoming weak, he decided that nope, no one can get married.
Nothing.
However, the bishop, Valentine, decided that he was going to marry them. He was going to, perform the ceremony. Does that make sense?
Oh, yes.
Okay, good. Any other questions? No? Okay. Perfect. So now, Chinyu, it's going to be your turn again to read. So, perfect. Good. Well, if you want, why don't you go ahead and read all of this on this page, and it will finish that paragraph. Okay?
Valentine continued to marry couple, and when the emperor Claudius II found out Valentine was put in jail, he continued to disagree with the emperor and was said to be executed. When he wrote a farewell letter to his lover, he wrote, "From your Valentine," which is still used today.
Very good. So exactly. So, the Emperor Claudius II said it's prohibited to get married, basically. Well, the Bishop Valentine disagreed with that, so he continued to marry couples. He let them get married. He did that. So when the Emperor Claudius II found out, Claudius obviously had to go to jail. And so Claudius got so angry, he said, "Fine, I'm going to kill you. You will be executed." All right. So when Valentine went to go write his goodbye letter or farewell letter to his lover, I think it was a young girl, he wrote, "From your Valentine." And so we still use that kind of ending today. We'll write, a little poem, "From your Valentine," kind of in secret, but it's the same kind of thing. So any questions or comments about this paragraph?
It's a
No
new
problem.
story for me.
Okay, so Ken, you said it's a new story for you. Chin, you?
Part other story only.
Oh, well, just wait a moment there. Chinyu, did you say something before?
A few days ago, I read this story. I know
Oh,
this
really?
history. I'm a history teacher.
Ah, very good. So yeah, so you also know this. Good. I think I have all of the information, but do you have any other information about this story?
Mm, I only know this.
All right, good. Well, Ken, I'm going to talk about, well, we're going to look at other ways. Another theory. So, Raphael, I'm going to have you read this and see. Okay, wait. Raphael, you're going to read this little part here because the next one is something a little different. So, why don't you go ahead and read that for us?
Okay. Another theory states that birds in France and England start their mating season on this day.
So, mating season, for those that don't know, is for when a mom and a dad want to have babies. They start trying to have babies, to put it very nicely. So this is called the mating season, okay? So of course, love, in other words, is involved here. So that's one theory. Now, Ken, I'm going to have you read the next one. Okay, good. So Ken, read everything you see, ending with church.
Before that, there was a pagan fertility celebration called Lupercalia in mid-February, which was then Christianized and celebrated at church.
Mm-hmm. So again, another idea, but love, fertility to have babies. And so, and pagan means that it wasn't religious. And that's important. Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
I hear you. We hear you.
What happened?
I don't know. And screen share. I cannot see the screen
Stopped.
now.
I know it went black. What? Hold on. Well, it still says I'm screen sharing. So just a second. Let me stop.
Okay.
And then I'm okay. Normally the video goes on. Video turned off. Well, I'm gonna try that and see if that works. What happened? Okay, looks like the video doesn't want to go on. So let me try and share this again. And nothing. What surprise. I don't know. Let me present to everyone. I don't know what that means. Screen sharing and presenting to everyone. Do you see that? Do you see the text yet or at all?
I see Simon's picture.
Yeah, me too. Okay. I was just wondering because I did something a little different. What happened? Why would that not work? Well, interesting. I don't know what to do at this moment. I'm wondering if it's my computer or something. Let me stop this again and see if I can do something because my camera won't even go on. I do think that my computer has a virus. I do think that. So I'm hoping that's not it. I all of a sudden yesterday was clicking on a website and a different page opened and it's happened multiple times. So I think that might be it. I wanted to clean the computer today, use the antivirus, and I didn't have time. Okay, plan B. Let's try and screen share once again just to be sure. If not, what can we do? Well, I can just read this too, and that's unfortunate that on a very happy day, it's the screen is black. No, nothing's happening. It says I'm screen sharing, but that's impossible.
No problem. We can begin a free talk.
Well, I mean, I would like
Can
to
you paste it in
continue
the
what
chat
I've
box?
prepared. Oh, that's true.
You
Hey, normally I'm the person that comes up with plan B. That's great. Thanks, Raphael. I was like, could I send this to Ken? And Ken could, but no, Ken can't do it either. So you're absolutely right. Let me copy and paste. Thank you, Raphael. Like I said, normally I'm that person that says that. So anyway, so we're talking about the pagan fertility celebration, and now let's see, Chinyu, do you see the where it says in the 17th century?
I can see. In the 17th century, people began writing love letters in England. Their first known Valentine's Day poem was written by Charles, Duke of Orleans, to his wife in 1415. Nowadays, it's in the British Library in London.
Okay, so thank you. So now we're talking about information about Valentine's Day. Okay, so this is the first known Valentine's Day poem. Okay, so kind of the first love letter, and this goes back to the 17th century. I think, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be, the bishop, the first story that we looked at was from like the 3rd century or something like that. It's like from forever ago, literally. So, Ken, I know you had a different story, but yeah, why don't you tell us your story now? Because we're into the information.
From these stories, actually, in Turkey, and one maybe bishop, I'm not sure, maybe bishop, or that figure, the person gave the present gift for poor people. That's the origin of Valentine's Day. What I heard, I've heard.
So where does the name Valentine come from?
He's called Valentine, actually. His name is Valentine.
Okay, I was like, come on, there's no connection at all. That's not true. Okay, sure. I'm sure there's lots of different theories. I don't know if we will ever really, really know. I mean, if we don't know by now, how sure can we be in 10 years that it actually happened? So, perfect. Well, thank you for your story and to you for reading. Raphael, why don't you read about in the 1840s?
Okay. In the 1840s, the US started producing Valentine's Day cards in mass production.
Okay, everything on my computer is slow now, so I couldn't unmute myself in time. What is mass production?
in a high quantity.
Very good. And so this is in the 1840s. So what, the printing press was invented in the 1820s, I think. So now 20 years later, it's, starting to be something huge. So it's pretty big. It's pretty important. So I'm hoping that now everyone can understand how important or how big Valentine's Day is in the United States. And Ken, why don't you read over the years?
Okay. Over the years, it has increased in popularity, and more cards are sent this day than on Mother's Day.
That's pretty a lot. That's a lot of cards.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's very popular. Let's see. Okay. Perfect. And the last one here, I'm going to copy. And you can read this. Where is it? No, I've lost it. In the 1940s. Over the years. Common traditions today.
Common traditions today in the U.S. include buy chocolate, flowers, and even jewelry. It is said that Americans spend over $20 billion, or about 130 per people each year on Valentine's Day. It's now one of the biggest consumer holidays in the US.
Okay. So yes, very good. So again, it just tells us more about how huge this is in the United States. It's like I said earlier in class, it's a consumer society. So of course we want to buy things and we have to spend a lot of money. And I know a lot of people that would spend like $200, and I'm like, $200? That's ridiculous. Like 50 is fine. So, people just like to buy good gifts, and I don't think it's necessary. So, all right, what are your opinions about this information? Have we heard other stories or anything else that you'd like to comment on?
Maybe before the social media and internet, exchanging cards are common or important things.
Mm-hmm.
Not only the Valentine's Day, other occasions, people, exchange cards for greeting. Nowadays, people put send a stamp or message on messenger or something. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think that's developed over the years. I mean, since there are now e-birthday cards, electronic birthday cards, for example. There's reminders. I know one of my friend's birthdays today. Of course, I always remember when his birthday is because it's Valentine's Day. And so now we have to just, on Facebook, we just write on somebody's wall. You could send a text message. But yeah, I mean, cards in general aren't as common anymore because everything is going electronic, email instead of snail mail, we call it, the regular mail. I think the only thing that's really helped normal mail service is the beginning of online purchasing, buying things online, Amazon snail mail. Yep. So that's kind of saved their industry because I remember that stamps went up when, electronic things started to become more popular. And people thought, well, soon no one will ever have to send letters or anything like that because we can do it all online. However, with the beginning of Amazon and eBay, well, eBay was invented a long time ago. But there's now a huge need for mail carriers and things like that. So it's changed. I mean, electronics technology, think back, well, I don't know if Raphael can think back 20 years from now, but I can, and things have so changed. They've changed so much. So any comments about that?
So
This
basically,
holiday, it's your turn. I'm a gentleman.
I'm sorry, Chinyu, I didn't understand. My holiday.
Oh, and Raphael first.
Okay,
no, I
Raphael?
just want to say, I just wanted to say that I just wanted to say that if we think through, I believe that Facebook killed Valentine's Day.
Really? Oh, I don't think it killed Valentine's Day. Why do you say that?
Because it was because I believe it was created on the purpose of selling cards. So if we don't have to sell to buy cards nowadays, so why do we have Valentine's Day?
Okay. Well, you know what? I bet my parents today are exchanging cards. So, and I suppose they don't have Facebook. So it's a generational thing. Yeah. Okay. I can understand. Tin you, what was your question or comment?
Mm. This holiday is becoming more and more popular in my city. A lot of young people uh, buy gifts or flowers for their lovers.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but for for my generation, uh, we don't follow this kind of trend. Uh, we are we are very traditional. Uh,
Mm-hmm. Well, of course, and your tradition was to not celebrate Valentine's Day.
and
So that's normal. It's the same for me in
and
Carnival. I never celebrated Carnival as a child, so for me, I'm not going to celebrate it now. So, did you want to
because
say
so
something?
many people are celebrating the Valentine's Day, uh, we uh, we should follow this kind of thing. If we didn't do that, uh, my wife feel my wife will feel that I am not romantic. uh,
Well, you don't only have to demonstrate that today. So,
and
here,
I
let me help you with a common poem from the United States, okay? It says, "Roses are
okay.
red, violets are blue, sugar is sweet, and so are you." And so this is kind of like a little poem that we use, to put in cards or to write on Valentine's or something like that. So, yeah, Tinu, did you want to add anything?
mm, and
Any questions? Good. Well, you can write that for your wife for today. So good.
okay.
Um,
Thank you for
is
your
anyone
help.
else? You're welcome. You're welcome.
Mm.
So, Raphael, you don't do anything today, right? No one is celebrating Valentine's Day today, correct?
Yes, not today, just in June.
That's crazy. That's so weird when it's so normal. It's for me. You know what I mean? It's so normal for me. And then when it's not normal for someone else, it's quite strange, actually. So, Might have to look that up and see why. So good. And Ken, did you celebrate because you're at the end of your day today?
Not actually. If I maybe I'm not the person who follow the custom.
Really?
Kind of. I was born on a level actually. That's why I like rock. Which means I mean a kind of violence or such kind of thing. But usually I dare to say no if the many people follow the one trend. But yeah. But anyway, I don't know. Oh, especially in Japan, Valentine developed kind of, as how can I say, Jinyu says, some people tend to feel romantic feeling for how can I say, for kind of from overseas or the place uh, far away or place no relation to the tradition. That's thing I think is happening to Asian countries. That's why Valentine's Day could appeal to Asian mind in general. I'm sure the other countries situation, but yeah. Af- so yeah, that's my feeling. Also, kind of obligation chocolate. I don't like it. Also, our obligation white days. Also, it's a kind of a seed of stress to many people. So yeah. That's my honest feeling about it. But it's okay to have a romantic, occasion to, you are important person. Yeah, I like it. Yes.
Okay. Well, good. I mean, I don't think it's really needed because, every day should be kind of special. But it's nice to kind of be forced to celebrate and, your love for someone else. I don't know. Believe it's not. Yeah, it is needed. Okay. To be reminded that, you're a couple, a strong couple, and, to be together forever. Raphael, do you want to comment more on this?
I just want to say that, well, I don't think there's obligation for celebrating the Valentine's Day, but certainly there will be consequences if you not celebrate it, because perhaps your partner wants will feel great if you totally overlook the Valentine's Day, so won't feel happy because perhaps you will always complain that you haven't buy him or her a present. So I don't know. It's
Okay.
sometimes people do not accept the fact that you're not celebrating Valentine's Day. So
Well, and that conversation should happen very beginning in the relationship, and just say, okay, well, I don't celebrate Valentine's Day because of this. And so if you understand, then it's a little different than just saying, no, I'm not going to buy you flowers. So for example, my husband wasn't a big fan of Christmas time, and I was, well, why not? I mean, Christmas is great. And he said, well, here you're forced to do certain things, or it's a tradition, and he just doesn't like the traditions. And I said, well, I can understand that. Plus, Christmas here lasts for like 3 weeks, and it's like lots of going out, lots of eating, lots of, celebrating. And of course, you get tired of celebrating so much. And so now I understand, but it's so different in the United States. So, he's been to the United States to see it, and he likes Christmas there. so for me, it was important that he liked Christmas. So you can kind of turn the tables on him, on somebody. So good. Well,
yeah.
any other? Yeah, more comments. More comments. Do you celebrate June 12th, Raphael?
Uh, I don't know. It is relative, as you mentioned. It's something that people should discuss at the beginning of the relationship. But I don't know. Although I realize that people don't, even if you have this conversation at the beginning of relationship, perhaps your partner won't accept it because
Right.
uh, people love surprises, and I don't know, it is relative.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. No, I mean, like I said, it's just to make sure the other person knows, like, don't think that you're going to get a gift or, or something for Valentine's Day. Um, but that's why I asked my husband, just clearly it was, hey, are we doing gifts, not doing gifts? And really I don't need anything. So, good. Well, it's a little bit strange without having anything on the board and not seeing me. So what I think we're gonna do is we did start a little earlier today. What I want to do is just let everyone know my classes for next week. All right, my classes are the same as always on Monday and Wednesday, same time. Check your local time. So on Monday, we're going to be taking a look at some vocabulary about sightseeing. So this is visiting different monuments, museums, places, parks, etc. while traveling. And then on Wednesday, we're going to be focusing on the modal verb, or the future simple will. And this is because will is used in so many different types of meanings. It's not just, I will do this. Oh, 100% you're going to. So we're going to look at kind of the different angles. And sure, yeah, it's going to be a lot of rules. We'll look at some examples and things like that. So good. Any questions about anything in general?
No, so thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Well, I would
You're
send
teaching very well.
I would be saying goodbye and waving, but I'll send a heart instead as it's Valentine's Day. So thanks for joining, guys. It was great. Thanks for reading, and Raphael, thank you for saving the day with your idea of the chat box. I
Okay,
cannot
you're
believe
welcome.
I so very good. Well, hopefully I will see you three next week. If not, go ahead, watch the videos like we talked about that you can always do. And that's it. So I'm waving goodbye. I promise. Right now, I'm literally waving goodbye. So have a good day, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Okay?
Okay, you too.
Hello,
Too. Thank
teacher.
you.
Thank you. All
I
right.
have
Welcome.
Bye.
the last question for you.
Bye.
All right. Bye bye.